Hello again everyone, and welcome back. On this channel I teach you guys all kinds of things related to Linux, but one thing that I haven't done as much is give you a behind the scenes look at how I use Linux internally here at Learn Linux TV, and today's video is one of the videos that I've decided to put together to show you exactly that. And in particular in this video, what I'm going to do is go over some of my software and hardware choices. More specifically, I'm going to go over the hardware and software I rely on day to day, including the computers that I'm currently using. I'll also go over my distro choices, some of the applications and tools that I depend on, and even a few things that I've set up within my studio to help improve my workflow and overall efficiency. So if you've ever been curious about what my environment actually looks like behind the scenes, this video should be a lot of fun. And even beyond that, my hope is that some of the ideas, workflows, and design choices that I share throughout the video might inspire a few ideas you could apply within your setup as well. So with all that out of the way, it's time to dive in. So let's check out my workflow right now. And to get us started, you might be wondering which Linux distributions I'm actually using these days. Well, let's go over that. And we'll start with desktops and laptops. When it comes to workstations, my primary distro of choice is Fedora. Nowadays, Cosmic has actually become my favorite desktop environment overall, and it's what I spend most of my time using day to day. And one of the main reasons for that is auto-tiling. I absolutely love tiling workflows, and I think Cosmic implements auto-tiling extremely well. Beyond that, it's also a very fast and responsive desktop environment that avoids a lot of unnecessary complexity. It's not overloaded with flashy animations or excessive bloat. It's simple, clean, and stays out of my way so I can focus on my work. That said, I still keep GNOME installed as my secondary desktop environment for a couple of reasons. And the first of those is that Cosmic is still fairly new, so it's not available everywhere just yet. For example, as of the time I'm recording this, it isn't officially available on Debian, so on Debian systems I typically stick with GNOME instead. But beyond availability, I also think it's a good idea in general to maintain a second desktop environment. After all, if your preferred desktop ever breaks after an update or configuration issue, having another environment installed gives you a fallback option so you can still log in and troubleshoot the problem instead of being completely locked out of your graphical environment. In Fedora's case, Red Hat is the primary sponsor behind the project, and while I don't have any specific reason to think that they'd suddenly abandon Fedora or anything like that, companies do sometimes make decisions that the community doesn't necessarily agree with. And we've seen a few controversial decisions from Red Hat in recent years already. So for me, keeping Debian around as a secondary platform gives me some peace of mind. If my primary distro ever changes in a direction that I don't like, I already have a fallback distro that I'm very comfortable with. And honestly, I think that represents good long-term planning in general. Now when it comes to servers, historically my primary distro has been Debian, and most of my servers are still currently running it right now. However, I'm actually in the process of gradually migrating my server infrastructure over to Alma Linux. And just to be clear, this isn't because there's anything wrong with Debian at all. Actually, Debian is an excellent server distribution, and I've had great experiences with it over the years. The reason I'm moving toward Alma Linux is really because I've become a huge fan of the project itself, and I want to become more involved with that ecosystem going forward. We'll get back to the video in just a moment, but I wanted to mention that if you haven't already done so, you should really check out the Learn Linux TV merch shop. After all, if you enjoy this channel, there's a good chance that you'll appreciate the kinds of things that I've put together over at merch.learnlinux.tv. And this isn't about pushing merch for the sake of it. I wanted to create things that feel like a natural extension of this channel. Practical references, clean designs, and the occasional inside joke that only really makes sense if you spend a lot of time in the terminal. Basically, it's merch for people who like Linux enough to care about the details. For example, in the shop you'll find the classic apt install coffee tee, which is perfect for people that enjoy both Linux and coffee, which is probably the majority of my audience. You'll also find shirts that help make it obvious what your favorite distro happens to be, and even if you're indecisive, there's a shirt for that too. You'll also find cheat sheets, ebooks, cups, hats, and a lot more. So if you want to take a look, you'll find everything over at merch.learnlinux.tv. And as always, thank you to everyone that's already supported the channel, whether that's through the shop, watching the videos, or by just being a part of the community. I really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. So now you know which distributions I'm running within my environment, but what am I running those on? What are my hardware choices? Well, what I'm going to do right now is talk a little bit more about that, and I'll tell you what I'm currently running as far as my notebook and my desktop. When it comes to my workstations, both of my daily drivers are computers made by System 76, specifically the Pangolin laptop and the Thelio Mira desktop, both of which I reviewed on this channel. The Pangolin is a great general purpose machine, but it's not powerful enough for editing video. I do that on my Thelio Mira, which can actually render a 14-minute 4K video in a minute and a half, which is incredible. In addition to my daily drivers, I have a number of other computers in use too, such as a NUC box I have underneath my desk that I primarily use for development, as well as a number of other laptops. When it comes to my monitor, I have a really nice ultra-wide OLED display that I use, which is great for editing video. And beside my display is a pair of Edifier speakers, which I chose specifically because the model I purchased was rated very highly for vocal quality. Attached to my display is my Thelio Mira, as well as a Thunderbolt dock, specifically the Keldigit TS4. So all I have to do is connect whatever notebook I want to use at any given time to that dock, and then it's automatically presented on my monitor with use of my keyboard and mouse. And speaking of my keyboard and mouse, I've mounted a USB switcher under my desk as well, so that way I could toggle my keyboard and mouse back and forth between my machines. Of course, I could have purchased a keyboard that uses Bluetooth, but I prefer mechanical keyboards and most of them are wired. And in particular, I'm still using the System 76 launch keyboard that I've reviewed recently, and I've been using launch keyboards primarily ever since they were first released. I love the configurability and the typing experience. It's great to have a native Linux app to configure my keyboard, something that's actually a bit rare. And I really love System 76 computers. They've been working very well for me. Now the thing is, System 76 has sponsored videos on this channel before, but they did not sponsor this video. I actually love System 76 computers, and they're my primary choice. But when it comes to software, what apps am I using? Well, what I'm going to do right now is talk to you about that. Now the thing is, I use a ton of different applications and utilities throughout my workflow, so there's no realistic way I could cover everything in a single video. But what I can do is go over some of the more important tools I rely on most and explain why they become such an important part of my environment. And the first one I'll mention is SyncThing. As I mentioned earlier, I regularly move between multiple computers throughout the day, and keeping files synchronized across all of those systems can quickly become a nightmare if you don't have a good solution in place. And the last thing I want to do is sit down at a machine, look for a file, and then realize I accidentally saved it somewhere else and can't remember which computer it was on. When it comes to SyncThing, all of my systems always have the exact same files automatically synchronized between them. So with this setup, I can save a file on one machine, walk over to another computer, and it's already there waiting for me. And that's made moving between systems dramatically easier, and honestly, it removes a huge amount of friction from my daily workflow. And at the center of all of this synchronization is TrueNAS, which is where my primary SyncThing instance lives. And due to that, TrueNAS itself has effectively become my single source of truth for file storage. Not only does it act as a centralized storage for all of my files, but it also handles my offsite backups as well. And the way this works out is fairly simple. All of my systems synchronize files through SyncThing, the data ultimately lives on TrueNAS, and then TrueNAS handles replication and offsite backup protection. And the end result is a workflow that's extremely seamless. I save a file once, and automatically all of my computers receive a synchronized copy, and the data also gets backed up off-site. Due to that, I rarely have to think about file management manually anymore. Anyway, some of the other apps that I regularly use include, but aren't limited to, LibreOffice, GIMP, Bitwarden, Standard Notes, as well as Todoist. And honestly, there's a ton more beyond that, but those are some of the bigger highlights that make up a large part of my day-to-day workflow. And with all that said, there's our video. I went over some of my hardware and software choices in this video, and who knows, maybe it'll give you some inspiration when it comes to your setup. Either way, let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below. And also, if you'd like to see a behind-the-scenes look at anything else within my environment, let me know that in the comments as well, and who knows, I might make a video about it. But anyway, with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.